The city of Gering putting extra emphasis on the future of Five Rocks Amphitheater. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, planning consultant Ayers & Associates has been hired to help the city of Gering develop a master plan for Five Rocks Amphitheater and nearby facilities. On Monday night, city engineer Annie Folk explained to the city council the study will look broadly at the facility, including potential upgrades to the RV park and recommendations on how to use the grasslands for something other than parking. Folk said the largest event to date has been about 4,000 attendees at a time, and the final report is anticipated to include any changes needed to host even larger events.
And it's probably going to be a combination of here's the recommendation of things you could do to overcome those challenges, or at some point there may be some things that there may be an upper limit, whether that's 20,000, whether that's 40,000. We don't have any idea, but that's why we're doing this, is to try to get a better feel for what our limitations are on paper before we actually have an event out there and find out the hard way.
Ayers & Associates helped develop the city's comprehensive plan and were the only ones to submit a proposal, with the council approving their bid of just over $46,000. The council also approved an LB 840 request by Twin Cities Development for $200,000 to go towards a match for a state economic development grant that would be used to bolster the Rural Workforce Housing Fund. Well, Nebraska Public Power District holds a public hearing tonight in Scottsbluff to take comment on their choice for a final route of a second transmission line between the two substations serving the city. The hearing starts at 7 p.m. at the Hampton Inn and will be preceded by an open house 1 hour earlier, so attendees have time to visit the project with the team. As proposed, routing for the Scottsbluff Power Project would generally follow existing roadways, with one exception, a northward leg on the southwest edge of town that goes from South Beltline Highway west to 20th Street through an empty field along what would be Avenue R. A question and answer session will conclude the hearing, which also kicks off an official 30-day comment period. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
Welcome back. Governor Jim Pillen has appointed a Panhandle native to serve as a student trustee for Chadron State College's Board of Trustees. Senior Cooper Reichman of Chapel will serve a one-year term for the 2023-2024 academic year and represents Chadron State students. Reichman is majoring in rangeland wildlife management and has served as a resident advisor, student senator, and the Rotaract Club president. Olivia McCassie and Emma Wilkinson were also appointed to serve as student trustees at Peru State and Wayne State colleges. Well, troopers with the Nebraska State Patrol have arrested a man for striking the NSP helicopter with a laser multiple times as it was in flight over the city of Lincoln. On Friday night, pilots reported a laser strike to Lincoln Air Traffic Control. While searching for the origin location of the laser, the pilots reported additional laser strikes on the helicopter and directed troopers and Lincoln Police Department officers to the subject's location. The man, 42-year-old Lee Simful of Lincoln, was found to be in possession of a laser pointer and was taken into custody without incident. Pointing a laser at an aircraft is a federal offense, and any laser strike constitutes an in-flight emergency. And the Friends of the Midwest Theater will host its 2023 annual meeting on Wednesday, March 22nd. The event provides the community the opportunity to meet the staff and the Friends of the Midwest Theater's Board of Directors. They will also be presenting information about the past year's operations, an update on the marquee restoration, and allow people to provide input about the theater. The meeting is free and begins at 5:30 p.m. the evening of the 22nd.
Life is crazy. Pain is stressful. How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scottsbluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least one float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
The 2023 Nebraska Soybean Board See for Yourself Tour is underway this week in the Pacific Northwest. One of the topics, decarbonizing heavy-duty equipment. At Star Oil Co., Mark Fitz, the president, discussed this a little bit more.
Well, the biggest thing is on the West Coast, soon probably the Northeast, you have a bunch of incentives that are pushing to decarbonize transportation, which means the CO2 impact of the fuels we use substantially drops. With that, the only pathway that really works well, that allows 50,000, 80,000, 105,000 pound equipment to basically do a 12-hour or a double shift, or really do the work that we need to do, is biodiesel and renewable diesel, typically sourced from American feedstocks like soy. And the soy farmers are the only people I see being able to provide another 1 billion or 2 billion gallons of bean oil to that industry. And on top of it, they're probably going to do it that is competitive, cheaper than crude oil production, right? So that's what kind of blows my mind, is being to look at that. And then you go to the Midwest and people don't really see what's happening on the West Coast, where there are all these incentives that are basically leading to farmers being the solution to what we got for transportation.
You touched on it a little bit. The West Coast obviously looks at this picture a little bit differently. Yeah. Talk about that aspect.
Well, the West Coast, of course, the West and Northeast, right, are the big fuel markets. So you're seeing people like Chevron and the purchaser REG, Neste and Phillips and Marathon partnering together. Darling is partnering with, I think, 76, right? BP has bolted on systems to take vegetable oil and refine it at the refinery, co-located with their diesel and jet fuel. There is a gold rush afoot to basically get decarbonized fuel in the supply chain, and that is coming from fats, oils, and greases. That is huge. During COVID, 4 refineries went down because the market collapsed. There's no gas volumes. 3 of those are coming back as hydrogenated vegetable oil, which means they're making renewable diesel, renewable propane, and sustainable aviation fuel from fats, oils, and greases. And the only place they're going to really be able to see that growth is probably soy, right? Like that is fascinating. A company called Calumet had a plant that they shuttered. They brought it back as HVO. It started in December, so that's 4 major, large refineries that are counting on fats, oils, and greases instead of crude oil. Big oil is betting on biofuels as their growth potential because diesel is going to be here. Gasoline may decline with EV penetration, but you're not going to see EV being able to do the work that diesel does for probably 20 years.
Okay, a lot of people would say, okay, why not those electric vehicles? That seems to be the hot thing right now.
Well, they want it to be the hot thing, but if you begin to look at them, they don't do the same work. If you're under 3,000 pounds, you're a small vehicle, one person, that'll work. But do those vehicles last 20, 25 years, right? And are they able to do a 20-hour workday? Currently, the technology is there, especially when it's cold, especially in inclement weather. I don't know about you, but like we serve a number of utilities. We back them up with diesel. When we have a storm and power's going out, I can't say we need 4 hours to charge. Like they want us working. They literally waive DOT rules and we just keep supplying fuel to keep them on the road. That is a diesel solution. And renewable diesel and biodiesel do that at an 80% reduction in carbon compared to what electricity. I mean, there's only so much solar and wind that they've been able to add. Are they able to triple, quadruple that? Maybe, but even still, you know what I mean? We can triple and quadruple the amount of biofuel we provide at lower carbon and electric. So that's the other side of it. And they've yet to even consider what those batteries really impact are. You know, that supply chain, the bloom is going to be off the rose as they begin to start looking at what those batteries are as they scale up.
What's the Nebraska Soybean Board, what's their role in this picture?
Well, I'd like to thank them for their support of the industry over the years. I know they've been a big supporter of the National Biodiesel Board, now the Clean Fuel Alliance. Without the Clean Fuel Alliance and the National Biodiesel Board and players like RAG, Hero BX, Sequential Biofuels, who recently sold to Neste, like those people helped me be able to develop a market, take care of customers, and they were in such a supportive role. They weren't making a penny, but they wanted the industry to rise. So when I was in my 20s and my parents thought it was the dumbest thing ever, my family's got an oil company, and I began to build out these businesses and begin to develop millions of gallons of customers who were voluntary adopters of biofuels. That support, being able to go to those conferences and see the organization funded by Nebraska and other states, it's been a big deal, especially the R&D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mark, these producers got to go outside and see a truck. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so they saw, we have I want to say it's a 2021, I may be wrong. We got a brand new Peterbilt with a Cummins ISX in it. It's about, I want to say it's like 450 horses. It was spec'd new with an Optimus system. Right now, if you go to Cummins' website, their new X15, they've got this fuel agnostic engine, the X15. It says B100 from the factory. Like it is a full-throated endorsement on their website. We'll be buying new trucks from the factory with Cummins spec'd at a dealership, installed at the dealership, running B100, right? And the way those systems work is you got a B99 or B100 tank, you have a diesel tank. It starts up on diesel or renewable diesel. In our case, we were able to get renewable, so we put that in that tank. Renewable is more than diesel. Biodiesel is cheaper than diesel in our market. So we save money running B99. The diesel tank starts up. It also feeds the emission system. So people who run diesel equipment, you're very familiar with the expense of that diesel particulate trap. I am not going to presume people in Nebraska delete those. If you do that on the West Coast, they will catch you, and it is a $10,000 ticket. So we tend to manage and maintain those, right? Running this Optimus system has allowed me to reduce the maintenance on those systems and run B99 in the engine, which typically we're saving 30 to 70 bucks a shift, depending on where diesel's at compared to bio.
That again, Mark Fitz, he's president of Star Oil Co. here in the Pacific Northwest. Reporting in Washington, I'm Alex Makovica.
Renewal by Andersen makes the best replacement windows and patio doors you can get, and they're among the best investments you can make in your home right now. Mortgage interest rates have doubled in just the last year. People are renovating their homes rather than moving. Renewal by Andersen windows and patio doors are a fantastic investment. Great tax incentives right now, 5-star energy rated, significantly cut your energy bills, and make your home much more valuable in a buyer's market. Snap that QR code, visit rbawyoming.com right now to start the conversation.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the people you know and trust.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, Habitat for Humanity of Scottsbluff County has completed their 21st home, and this past weekend handed over the keys to the new homeowner. During a welcome home celebration ceremony in Scottsbluff, Nellie De Los Santos and her two sons accepted the keys, with Nellie overcome with emotion as she thanked everyone involved.
We want to say thank you to everybody who's contributed to the house with funds, but also help building our forever home. We're super excited, and we wouldn't be here today without all of you, so thank you.
Habitat for Humanity's Jim Kozol highlighted the contributions of many volunteers.
We have over 600 volunteer hours in this project, and that's probably a little bit inflated because everybody that shows up either doesn't know anything or they're old. So it just takes a little longer.
We're organization representatives thanked everyone involved, especially those who made extra monetary contributions to the increased cost of about $35,000, which included Platte Valley Bank and Floyd Sales and Service, as well as several other anonymous donors. Well, that is it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.